Hey everyone, and welcome to one of my biggest, bestest, and most important projects I've ever done on YouTube. Welcome to the tour of Yosemite Valley Zoo. This is my biggest Planet Zoo project. This is the one that started at the very beginning in 2019 and ended, well, did it really end at some point? I'm still going back into the project every now and then, but I guess it did technically end about a year and a half ago. But yeah, because it's a completely full map in the midst of the Yosemite Valley in the United States, and we have an imaginary zoo over here with a lot of great landscaping. There you can see Half Dome looming in the distance through the snow. We'll get a better view of that as we pass by, and today we're going to do a cozy snow walk. So for those of you who've clicked on the video and who are new to the channel due to Planet Coaster 2, this is the project that, you know, has had the better part of my entire YouTube career, and also I guess kickstarted the channel a bit more after the years of Planet Coaster. I think this is the project that really brought a lot of people to this channel, and I'm still very proud till this very day. There's a lot of inspiration from the Yosemite region. There's a lot of collaboration going on. There's a lot of architectural influence from various areas. This is a story about the development of Planet Zoo, which, well, frankly, is not ended yet. So you potentially have seen also something from Mr. Aston Wolf at the moment. I'm very glad for this guy that he's got finally his exposure that he deserves. And this building over here, looking at Wilderness Springs, that he's doing right now, you can clearly tell that this is an Aston building. He did this for me for a little Christmas special a couple years ago. Now you can actually get some Christmas trees over here, and that is so cool in the Trade Depot. You can obviously also get some, you know, deco and stuff like that if you want to. And yeah, just overall, this is our zoo. We also have some very cool, you know, things over here. What does it take to be a zookeeper? With some info boards that the community did that I finally have in the file. There's all the backstage area for our staff members. This whole project features a lot. Yeah, to talk about, because it is just such a cool storyline. We've had so many updates during the course of Planet Zoo that improved the game, and some of which has been taken over to Planet Coaster 2, which is cool. And this gazebo over here, or should I say the typical Marktstand from the German Weihnachtsmarkt inspired stuff over here. It's like a bit of a German Christmas market inspired stuff, where you have this central little market thing where you technically, this is the thing where you get the beer, okay, or Glühwein. It's more towards what we have. And also there we have the boxless counters. Finally, this is a build I made once we finally had these boxless counters. Still a big fan that we have them in game right now. And also this is one of the builds I did without free build, so this is why there's only one, or actually two counters. There's another one in the back. With free build we could move them into each other if we want to, but yeah. So on the left hand side we do have a red panda habitat. I do know that this for the most part is broken, and the pandas are somewhere, and there's also people stuck in there. I have no idea why I never fixed this, but I didn't do that for this one. There's also like a little, look, that little duck looks like a, I don't know, looks like a Santa Claus. It just looked like a Christmas hat, I don't know, from the distance. Let's quickly go, because there's like an inside view as well. Also, by the way, if you're coming from Planet Coaster 2, this is snow in the game. So yeah, Frontier and the engine could do snow. This is great stuff. Going in, you have this vista over here, which is also giving away the inside area. I'm not sure why the people are stuck over here, and also not sure where the red pandas are roaming around. Some of the animals are also boxed, so maybe these are some of the animals that are boxed. We've got some educational stuff over here for them. But yeah, we'll just go forward. Also, just as a bit of a housekeeping before we really get into the tour, I did not record a full tour of this one because of the performance so far, but as I have a completely crazy new computer, I thought it was time to finally do the tour. And as you can see, the performance is really damn good, and even with snow, which usually is a little bit more of a bigger hit on performance, interestingly, because the view distance definitely is lower, but I think because of all the VFX and all the textures on top, I don't know, I have no idea actually at the end of the day. But yeah, there we have some of the wonderful sequoia trees. Again, partially one of our storylines. I did build these trees myself out of, I don't know, 300 pieces or so. One of the trees I built in the past has been 300 pieces. And I remember that when I got these trees, like the actual ones from Frontier, they were a carbon copy of the in-game ones I made. They had the exact same size, they looked very similar, so I could just easily exchange them one by one with ones that I did. And there you can see finally the real half dome in the back. This is a crazy build I did in here, inspired by the mountain shape of Yosemite Valley in real life. And in front of it there is our lemur dome, which kind of resembles the shape that you can see on the top there. So yeah, I'm very proud of this entire project. This is why I really like coming back into this. I'm wondering if I take the left or the right hand side. It's so hard to decide right now. I think oh gosh, I think I'm just gonna go for right hand side, because that'll guide us a bit more easily into the center of the zoo. Again, I'm not even sure if I'm going to look into everything, because that will end up in a 4-hour tour, which we technically could do, but I don't want to. But yeah, I changed this region a couple of times. So previously, that was actually where you could go down, which now is fixed because that was a bit of a steep access point. I didn't want to do this, and I fixed certain things. You can see there's the lemur area. We have to take another route to get there, just to make the whole thing a bit more realistic and easier to go. Well, there's a bit of a shader issue. Very rarely saw that with snow, but yeah, getting into the sequoia area, you can see these large trees. I just still love how that looks. Like, gosh, how much I wish to have a winter like that. But I guess in our region we won't ever see like a proper winter again. This is the panda habitat over here, again with like an educational center on top that I built very late in the project. That was an idea we built together on stream, and talking a lot about like conservation and the fact that you need to rent pandas. You can't really have them for your zoo. You need to rent them from the Chinese government, and you know, making sure that you have a habitat that suits all the requests and demands that, you know, not only the animals, more likely the Chinese government does, so that you can have them and keep them for a certain while. And you can't keep them for as long as you want. It's basically also defined. I forgot how long that was exactly, but yeah. So coming in here, I did do a lot of signing, but it's unfortunately not fully signed. But I do still like the fact that I have actually had the passion and the drive to do some signages. Anyways, continuing also, by the way, I actually wanted to wait until my voice is resolved to do this tour, but I think my voice is not going to be resolved for the entirety of the winter. I've got 2 kids now. One is going to the kindergarten. Everyone is sick around me. The weather is just like you have to be sick the whole time, and I'm like, okay, well, actually, we got to deal with my voice now for the next 3 months straight. And this is why I'm doing this. So yeah, this is the lemur dome, as you can see. This one over here I'm very proud of. It's also one of the most subscribed to items from the workshop. I've seen this countless times in other people's zoos, and I'm so proud of that. I'm so proud of that. Also, if you're witnessing occasional cuts, this is because I need to cough or just drink a little bit in order to get my voice ready again to talk you through. Now, I think this time around, last time we moved over to here, I guess, in one of the shorter tours. Anyways, I'm going to go to the left-hand side, because this is one of the oldest parts of the zoo. And I want to go briefly to this region here, because this is where, yeah, one of my biggest desires sits. And, well, things turned out completely different than I was hoping. So, well, yeah, we got to get there in a second. First of all, we're going to go over our tortoise area. This is where we have, I think, the Galapagos and the, forgot which one the other one was, again, or the Aldabra. Both of them, I think, are in here. I think the right-hand side, this one over here, is the Galapagos tortoise, should be in here, the giant one. Can't see it moving around. One of them is called Kane, I remember that. And if we go in here real quick, we have like a tiny backstage area here. It's nothing crazy. So they're obviously inside because of the snow. Should be the other ones. Should be in here. There's one. Look at that. There's roaming around here. I like the fact that the animals do react to snow. Like, I figured that I did a couple of tests, and I made sure that I have some snow going on for a couple of minutes before I start the tour. And I'm very happy that the animals seem to react to it. You know how I play the game. I usually build a lot and don't really play. Like, I do play the game because, like, whatever you do in the game is basically playing. But I don't experience the zoo as much as I should. And it seems like Frontier has really fixed a lot of stuff during the time, because animals really react a lot better to the weather. They're roaming around a lot more closer to the actual shelter, despite the fact this habitat should be safe because of all the heaters I put in here. Gosh, I love that when they are using this to fill in the water. I saw that way too seldom, and I really like that. So this is where my heart is bleeding a little bit. So that is our Implied bird show area. So this is a very early build. I think it was still during the first year of development, or not development, but during the first year after release. And I was so certain that at some point we'll get actual birds. And my idea over here was to build like these type of wildlife reserve bird type of shows. We've got a lot of those in our region over here, whether it's been in the Eifel or in the Sauerland or like in other regions, like forested regions around us. This is where they usually have these big parks, and like the birds are not free, but essentially they can fly around in these wildlife reserves, and then on a whistle or another kind of signal, they come flown out of the forest and like just kind of land at one of the educators or like trainers sites, or even at sometimes at people's. I had that once, when you get that leather glove and they can just land on your arm, and you're like, freaking how heavy are those? Like they're equally light and heavy at the same time. Like I expected them to be heavier and lighter at the same time. Like you have that like big eagle coming, like in my case that was a falcon, but the falcon just landed on my arm, and I was like, okay, but well, it's light. In the first second you're like, oh, that's light, but the longer you have them on your arm, it's like, actually they're properly heavy. But you know, they gotta be light, obviously, to be able to fly. But yeah, this is the idea. And then you've got all these little seating options with these like little stumps, you know, where you can sit down on these chopped down trunks, and kids and so on can enjoy. And then you had over here, there was like a little bit of a preparation area where you can prepare the meal for the birds so that they come, you know, these little meat pieces and stuff like that. And then we have our keeper out here in the back. So yeah, the idea was there, but actually I could never turn that into reality. I'm not going to go there, because in the Allback there is like our natural bison reserve. Like we've got some bisons roaming around on a big plain, but we can actually see this from the other side, where you can see these domes lurking through. Really looking forward to what is happening there with the next one. So yeah, I gotta say, I'm very very happy with how this all turned out to be looking. Some of the buildings here are relatively simple. Like potentially I wouldn't build something like that anymore. That's like very simple with these things. But again, at this point we didn't have the boxless counters, so this is not as great looking as it could. But if we continue walking over here, we can also see there is another backstage access. This whole zoo has a lot of backstage opportunities, I should call them, because I did focus on them. We have a lot of seating areas, and then if we go here, just want to show you this real quick because the vista is just too good. Like all the nature over here, really mountainish, and I like this in the snow in particular, because you only have the view distance to really get this very submerged valley feeling, and really this like heavy feeling from the mountains to the left and right. When you have it all clear, you can still see the skyline and the skybox of Planet Zoo, which always tends to give you a wrong feeling, because it just doesn't feel like as in Yosemite. You know, I've never been there, but obviously I've used a lot of Google Maps and the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 back in the day to fly around here. So there's like a wonderful little building as well. This is what we've got to use. So like once we are here, we can actually look over here to the bison habitat to combine that. And over here we do have already, where's that sign? There's the sign. Let's just quickly run over here. Whoops, I just got into the planters. This gives you the tropical domes. The community did all these signs, wonderful signs that have been made for the project, and gives you an idea. Look, they even used the shapes that I used for the dome to give it a bit of a nice feeling. Yeah, just love that. And obviously all these species will be found in the dome. Well, once we are in, it's gonna take a moment until we are there, but so you get a good feeling what you're going to expect. So let's move on and move over here, because this is another very important stuff. You can even see there's like a bridge, and even the bridge has a dedicated backstage access. You can see that with the staff members walking over here. Again, it's the first Planet game to introduce staff pathing. Very thankful that we have it. And again, here you can have another insane vista. I think this zoo is mostly about the views. I just love it. This is where we got the picnic benches in here, like we got them from the start and you could use them. This is another like Yosemite architecture inspired build. Like mostly I was basing it off of some hotels in here. There's one very famous Yosemite Valley hotel that I was basing most of my architectural stuff on, which has this typical kind of almost timber in a way, but then also has a bit of a more modern touch to it. Can't really describe that, but just really love that, and has a lot of these turquoise colors integrated into that as well. And then here we have one of the other habitats that have been a proper forecast to what was coming. So this habitat has been built once we did not have any deep dive animals. This has been my king penguin habitat, or actually emperor penguin, I gotta say, but this has been the king penguin habitat before even this was in game. So this habitat over here has been an implied habitat for the most part of its existence. So very proud of it that at some point they introduced proper diving and deep dive mechanics. Now, what was really interesting about this is that I had to redo most of the habitats, so it's way deeper now, because at this time when I built this was like 2 meters deep only. Then Frontier brought in the swimming mechanic, which was always 4 meters, and then they kind of configured that back to 3 meters or 2 meters. I think they could also live with 3 meters a bit, I guess. I could have also used the African penguin, which is okay with 2 meters, and then I could have actually kept the very first habitat I ever built here. So yeah, it was a bit of a fourth in the back, and you can see in this image over here, this is the exact habitat you're witnessing in front of you, and there is also a little joke over here where we have some garbage in one of the bins over here, as people have left this. This is my original sign I built for the, I figure it was the Humboldt or the African, I think it was the Humboldt penguin, my very first idea for that one. Even made this little implied card over here with like popping the location where they live. Well, actually, this is definitely, I think it's the Humboldt one, because that is that like Chile or so? This is definitely South America, it's not Africa. So, because that like should be Hawaii, whatever. So yeah, but now it's the king penguin in here. It's not a question where we go. I think we're not crossing the bridge as of now, because I think I want to give you, or do we actually make the night house at one of the last things we do, because it's so cool? You know what, I'm just gonna save the night house for the later stages. Oh, look at this, they're just gathering for a little talk over here. So cool that we're catching it. Wait a second, as they're gathering around, we should actually take that moment and wait for that, because also throughout the zoo I eventually took the time to do this. I put in some educators, made sure that we have some tours and so on to give a bit of life to the zoo. And this is also what I'm hoping for Planet Coaster 2, because for those of you who don't know, Planet Zoo at the beginning didn't come with educators in the first place. Like, they haven't been in the game at all, and they added the educator, this is the person over here, later to the game. They first of all started with the educator's points over here, then they gave them the chance to roam around and do some free speeches here and there, and last but not least, they even added the tours, that you can actually plan out some proper tours and put actual tour points in, and to make groups of people tour your zoo even through backstage areas, which is really, really great. And this is, like, if we're looking at parades or something in the future, totally doable, and something that they introduced with free updates. So yeah, look at that, they're just pulling out the microphone from there, and look at the sound, that's so good. Oh gosh, I love that. This is like, you have to embrace the game. Like, there is so much good stuff about this, and I think sometimes we forget about this. Like, you know, I'm also one of the, you know, I speak up when I think that there is justified criticism, but I also want to drown in the beauty of the game. And this is the good old Frontier. The love of detail and what they all doing is it's amazing how much detail went into making all these stuff. Like when they do the tours, these little animations, and also like how the sound is so, like, really as if it's from the speakers and has that echo in it. I just generally love it. There's again one of our signs, and you can also grab like a little card from the zoo if you want to. So, oh gosh, I love that. So yeah, if you're going up here, there's another little option to check out the habitat, get a bit of a better view. But we are going to cross the bridge real quick. I think I have a good route in my head now that we are taking. Also love the fact, look at that, we are away from this area, and it's also muffled. Let's just, and just to hear that person going through the snow. Oh, I love that. So if we're checking over here, there is an area, don't mind these, I was potentially taking some images. There is the elephant, or modern elephant habitat. This is something I have built very, very late, and for the most part that was a very different view over here. But I'm very much loving this. This is so much more realistic, and we have that additional bridge that I added into the zoo very late in order to improve the overall flow of the zoo, because beforehand we only had 2 different bridges connecting both sides of the zoo, because as you can see there is a river separating areas of the zoo, which was a feature I wanted to have from the very beginning. I know that the first episode of this project is way over 200,000 views by now, which is ridiculous to think about. And all I did in this first episode, like there's not a single animal in the first episode, but all I did is I prepared the whole map, and the map has also been downloaded so many times because people seem to just love building in this map. So there's some capybaras over here. Seeing them all inside means potentially that they're not enjoying some of these things I built. There's one almost outside. I'm very happy about this one, because that was genuinely one of my favorite builds I ever made, because that was a lot more involved in doing this than it looks like. It's a tiny habitat, but I spent so much time to make specifically this hot tub over here work. There's a lot of trickery going on. Let's see if I can show you. Hold on, can I just sneak myself up on that wall? Let's have a look. Yeah, so you can see there is like a little pond in here, and there's actually water, and then I made sure that this is very shallow so that they go into the water and actually use the bathing mechanics, because as you know, in this game there is a bathing mechanic for the macaques and the capybara, so they can go into shallow water when the game detects that they're in shallow water, and you have this hot tub enrichment item close by. They will go there and enjoy that. And in order to make them really sit in that barrel, I had to trick around this a little bit, and it just works at the end. It looks so cool. And then I used the tennis ball enrichment to make some fake oranges, because that's like this typical kind of capybara spa kind of thing you see. Again, very proud of how that looks. This is all accessible for them. They can go all in these, but yeah, as the snow appears, they don't really want to go there. Looking at the other side, this is a shared habitat of some of the primates, orangutans, and I think maybe otters or so that are living in here as well. I forgot who all was living in that. This is like a huge habitat. This is one of the backstage areas, and then they can also go and climb over here with the structure back inside of the tropical domes. Again, one of the builds that had a lot of planning and redoing involved. Initially, this was the area where the Bactrian camel was, because we didn't have dromedaries in the game. And yes, this park does not even feature dromedaries. Yeah, I don't have Rudis in here, but they needed to make space for other species, and I'm way more proud of this habitat. And gotta admit, this game looks beautiful, doesn't it? It's holding up so well. I remember going back from Planet Zoo to Planet Coaster, and as much as I love Planet Coaster, the jump in graphics and overall look was so massive to Planet Zoo that it was always feeling a bit like a weird thing to come back. But with Planet Zoo, it's not that way. Like, yes, the lighting is definitely worse, but just the aesthetics of the game is so good that it makes you not like miss it too much. At least I don't at this point. Over here, this is also another fun story. This is a custom vending machine, because this is one of the oopsies of Frontier, so you can definitely tell that they did this already with Planet Zoo. Once they released Planet Zoo, they got rid of the vending machines that we already had in Planet Coaster. Later along the way in the free updates, we got some vending machines back, and they were even improved, because now you can place them freely everywhere, which is exactly the case in Planet Coaster 2 as well. So again, there is hope for missing features from this very game that is not in Planet Coaster 2. Now, yeah, I'm not going to look from the outside. Let's actually go inside of the dome, because that is where we have it. There's like, this is just like a little viewing opportunity over here, so we don't need to spend that. We have like a bit of a double gate, an airlock to ensure that this keeps being hot and humid in here. This is maybe one of the little tiny things I don't like. It's a little bit too foggy in here with the snow, because that is a tropical house and it should be a little bit more tropical, but humidity and cold, like the cool from outside, maybe it would create something like that. I don't even know if this may even be realistic, but yeah, so this down here should be the pygmy hippo. They should not hide because this is all inside, so they have no reason to hide from the snow. No idea where they're roaming around. Maybe they're hiding just below us. That could very well be. But yeah, just moving down here. We may see them from the backside or maybe in the water. No, there's no one in the water. No one in the water. Can't see. Okay, well, they're hiding pretty well. So maybe on this hand side, we can see now the Nile monitor. Let's have a look. Is someone over here? Not really. Not really. So pygmy hippo isn't around. Okay, well, sometimes they're all shy. Oh, look at them. They're up there. Up for a little sleep. Oh yeah, well, they had like some food right away, so that's why they're chilling now. It's like, yeah, don't talk to me. I've just eaten. Okay, so maybe the other one is chilling over here. No, not over here. Okay. I thought that like this habitat over here is also kind of nice. I squeezed that in later on to fill that gap, because on that side we have some of the capuchin monkeys somewhere over here. You can hear them already. They have a good time up here in the trees. I'm not entirely sure. It's still crazy that I somehow fitted a baobab tree in this build. Like, not sure how I did this, but yeah, on the right hand side there you can see this. This is the orangutan habitat. They're roaming around. It is not fixed, and I will never fix this habitat because the game just drives me insane. I built this habitat with multiple layers. They can climb from A to B, but with all the updates, and I don't know what exactly Frontier fixed about the locomotion system. I'm aware it should be better right now, but this never actually worked again, and I have no idea why. Technically, there's no reason why it shouldn't work, but they are just not using the climbing frame anymore. We also have some Malayan tapirs in here, but yeah, as I grab some of these dudes and throw them over into the rest of the habitat, they will not find the way back, and it doesn't matter. Oh, we also have otters in here. Look, they made their way. How the heck do they make their way over here, by the way? Because they... Wait, did I build like a connection to this house? I may have. I forgot. But look at the cute otters. Because they actually should use the outside area more. But like, I understand it's very cold outside. So they're in here. So maybe we are lucky enough to see our black panther when we get over here. Because this one's also connected to the panther habitat. We do have a view from this right-hand side. So moving up here, this is going to give us a view. Oh my god, it's boxed. Why? Why are you boxed? That's a pity. Shall we unbox real quick? Come on, we do this. We just do this, okay? Come on, let's... Holy heck. I want to just unbox... Okay. The game is just like, no, you're not selecting the box at all. Unbox all animals. Unbox all M&Ms, please. The real Slim Shadys. So, there is like one. Okay, you're roaming around. This is not the Blackie. The Blackie. It's not here. Okay, so technically this is the day. Okay, you are a tropical animal. You're like, okay, go for the snow. I mean, they love to swim either. Maybe they love the snow. I don't know. But that is just like, it's so freaking good to go around here again. Yeah, it's a shame that they're using this not anymore, because like this was so cool to have the orangutans climbing above your head. But you just imagine that they would do this. This is the other side of the view for the reptiles. The monitor could be in here. And this is where the capuchin monkeys live. Where are they though? Normally they are crowding this area like what? Hello? Where are you guys? Are you all in your... Oh, look there. There's one. There is one. The capuchin monkeys. So yeah, this has been one of the coolest habitats at the time, because when I was building this, the climbing was still pretty new and exciting, and I tried a lot of things to make these nests work in and see how to improve the climbing and get rid of most of the glitching. Yeah, I was still hoping at that time that you can build habitats without any glitching. I think at some point we all were just like, okay, we're just gonna accept the fact that obviously climbing is not going to be perfect, and there will be some Michael Jacksoning and some glitching here and there, but we're all fine with that right now. So yeah, this is that. But looking at this right now, it all works pretty fine. I'm also not aware of, maybe some experts in the comments can tell me, but does the frame rate sometimes also influence how good something works for the calculation? Because now I played this obviously for longest, but in a bad frame rate. Now, as the frame rate is very stable and very good, even in play mode, does that mean that the calculation might actually be better and therefore have less glitches? Like in my brain, that makes sense, but I'm not sure if that's true. But yeah, so going out, still snowy, obviously. With some more backstage accesses over here, accesses, and then we do have a bit of a recreational area here, but we can also take the bridge, and this is what I promised earlier, that we go over to our restaurant location. There's like a little bit of a restaurant. We also have like this fun well over here, and a bit of a nice seating area that has some cover. But equally, there we can even see a bison. Look at that, as if I have staged it. Because the idea about our bison area is that this is officially not part of the zoo. And the idea is that this is officially part of a bison reserve that the zoo is only sharing a view into, because this is just like the side of the zoo. So basically this is already not part of the official zoo anymore, but you can obviously have a look at these beautiful animals living in the nature. There we can see a bison swimming. They can also cross the lake and get to this side over here. So eventually they, next to the restaurant, they would be living over here. They have like a huge area that goes all the way beyond the waterfall, and the animals are living here. Actually, in all the years I've been in this file, it never appeared to work that well that you see them when you're on this side. Like, whenever I was on this side of the zoo, they were somewhere completely hidden. I was like, okay, you have to imagine that there are living some bisons. But now you've seen them, and you've also seen the scale, how big these animals were, really are. Like, if you're standing over here and you see this one there, it was really big. Like, they are big, you know? They're pretty humongous. Like, I don't want to meet them in the night. Not at all. So, just like running over here again, let's quickly run. This is now also turned into a habitat. Like, this has been a recreational area, but now it is a platypus habitat as well. You can sometimes see them below here. I remember that was a pain to build, because I made these platforms without the idea of having an animal in here. There's a guy, rail missing, fence missing, and then I squeezed the habitat below that one and actually wanted to make it work. It does work because it's deep enough now, but changing all of that, I remember how painful that was. That was really painful, because I needed to redo these terrace pieces. You can actually see this, because there's like a bit of a gap, and the gap exists because I needed to redo the platforms at some point and raise it all manually. It was perfectly fine at some point, guys. It was, I promise, it was. But yeah, like with all the stuff, like I don't know. I want to build stuff perfect. I know that I'm not the most perfectionist builder out there. If you look into Bro Nation, these people really have issues in the most positive ways. Like, they don't accept any glitch, they don't accept any Z-fighting, they don't accept any imperfection, which I admire and I respect a lot. But at that pace, I would build like 2 habitats, or like in a theme park genre, maybe a coaster and a flat ride in 1 year. That is just like, I don't know, like I don't have that much time and I don't have that much patience. Look, there's a platypus over here. Well, coming out of one of the houses. This is why we invented the term Rudilistic, okay? Everything we do, we want to get it realistic. It's like the views and stuff, it is believable. It is, for the most part, realistic, but we keep a fraction of, creative freedom in order to get stuff done and to, make sure it's still a game, okay? This is our huge Panther Creek, by the way. I don't know, like, people say, hey, you're building virtual zoos and virtual parks, what the heck are you doing? They're not real. But doing these tours, this is more than real, because I connect this to times of my life where I was building this, and I remember this time very well. That must have been around the time where I became father for the first time, or at least knowing. I feel like this is knowing that I was becoming father at the first time, very early on. I do think that you guys didn't know at that time, but I remember this, and building this habitat and jaguars, and knowing that at some point, because the jaguar in here, the black one, is called, the panther is called Baloo, not Baloo, Bagheera, obviously, from the Jungle Book, and knowing that at some point I'm going to watch The Jungle Book with my little kid. And just recently I did, because she's about to turn 4 soon, and she wanted to watch this. It may have been a bit early, to be honest, but we tried it, and she enjoyed it quite. She wanted to watch that again now, she told me, to understand it better. And I was like, oh gosh, hopefully not. No, it's very hard to decide when. Like, they don't have an age restriction on that movie. Sometimes I think they should have, but like, I like to really explain that to her, but like, it's a full circle moment. I remember building that and thinking about the fact of an yet not born child, and not now having her with me. That's just so crazy. This should be the moose habitat. It's not around. This is one of the most jank things I built. This is a walk-in habitat for moose, which is one of the most dangerous things you can do. I didn't know at the time. I built it because of fun, but like, people explained to me, and by now I know that they are not like the elks. they are not the friendliest of animals when it comes to this. So yeah. Oh, I remember. Look at that. This is something we did also very, very late in the build here. We do have also a lot of ramps and stuff in here to ensure that people with wheelchairs and strollers and, you know, can access every area. So I'm very happy that we did this. This is not a proper path, but this is an implied one, obviously, having a huge ramp. Because in areas like here, unfortunately, people can't get up. It's not everywhere, though. This is our bear reserve, like with the Grizzly Bear Foundation, where they ensure that the population keeps staying safe in the area. You can see this is the gate, leaves them, or like actually reintroduces them into the wild. In clear view, you can see them roaming around all the way in the mountains here. It's a ginormous habitat. Not going to check all of this. It's just like the bear habitat up there. It's not too crazy. But what is crazy, and I'm still very proud of, is our Californian sea lion area. Again, one of these fun stories. This used to be an implied habitat for sea lions once we did not have proper diving, swimming animals. And then we didn't get sea lions, but we get seals. And then I turned this habitat into a seal habitat. And once we got the sea lions, I rebuilt this into a sea lion habitat. And the fun bit is that, again, this was one of the habitats that I did fully implied, and it just worked perfectly fine. I just needed to do a few tiny adjustments, like very tiny ones, but for 90%, the habitat worked, and I'm so happy with this. You can really get lost in the zoo. This is the alligator view. Oh, there you can see that. I planned this at some point, that they're chilling over here, and now they are. That looks good. That looks really good. That used to be the saltwater crocodile, but then we turned that into the alligator. I'm not sure if I got rid of the saltwater in general, but that is that. I just want to go up here. Also, everything custom here. Custom lamps, custom fences, everything custom. Just really, I still do have it for the most part. I refuse to use anything from the workshops, even though people may even do better stuff than I do, but I just want to build everything myself. This is what I meant. Like, there's a little bit of a nice theming going on. This is just a backdrop for the backstage areas. Very much inspired by the San Francisco Pier area. I love it. Just like where the Baba Gum's shop is. This is very close to, which is, very much inspired. You've got that little rack over here with some tools to play and toys to play. And then when you go here, and I remember that was also very painful to build, is this lower hand area below the stage. That's been painful to make this all look good, and also to make it deeper. But the reward is just insane. The reward of seeing the animals dive in here as in this proper habitat. And also, the habitat itself is a little bit more old-fashioned. I really wanted this to seem to be one of the oldest attractions in this zoo, because that should be like a mid-90s type of seal lion habitat that has been built with the typical kind of beige. Like, maybe this has been white, but like, because of all the weathering and so on, it's now beige kind of concrete look, and then the painted turquoise blue bottom part to make it look a bit more like the waters. Very typical for zoos of that time. And then we have got this viewing area over here where people can even sit down. And yeah, I'm in love. I am still in love. I do hope that till this point in time in this video, we have a lot of people watching who have not seen this project, and maybe you are brought to this project now. Please take the time now to leave a comment down below if you are here seeing this project for the very first time. I really want to know, every single one of you, every single soul who is still watching the video at this point in time and who haven't known this project before, you must comment now. I want to know, because that can't be that many people, can that? I can't, no, it just can't be. So, in order to go through, I just want to briefly show you guys what is over here, but then we move on. This is the prairie dog habitat, but I'm very happy about, mate, what are you doing over here? We haven't seen that, okay? We just ignore that. Because I'm very happy about the shelter. Look, they can actually go up here, or they can run down. And I made this from the side, so you get this kind of almost ant, how's it called? Ant gallery, ant thing. I don't know. Oh my god, look at all these copy-paste animals sitting here. This looks so hilarious. But yeah, they can go up here, can go down, and you can see this from the side, them chilling in here. This is not even that easy to build. It's a habitat that is relatively sizable. It goes all the way here across the riverside. What are you doing over here? But just stay there, it's fine. I don't know. Eventually you'll go in. It's too cold for you anyways. But yeah, I'm loving that. I'm loving that. Okay, so the next part, oh gosh, it's very hard to decide what we're doing right now. We could go into the aquarium over here, which is everything implied, by the way. Well, there are actually some habitats in here. I even made a full pump area. More about that later. But yeah, I gotta show you. This is one of the backstage areas I need to show you. These people got stuck. Ah, never mind. Or they just enjoy the snow. I don't know. It's whatever they do. Oh, look at that. Just look at it. Ah, it's so good. It's so good. Maybe this is gonna be a long video because I'm enjoying it too much. I just don't want to rush it, okay? I don't want to rush it, but just look at the snow effect. Oh gosh, I love all of that. Like with this area, there's the koala house here. There's the koala house in the back, and this is the aquatic house. So we could go here to the left-hand side, and we would make our way to the wolf habitat, and then go all the way. I think we're doing this. I think this is the smarter way of doing this because it will eventually guide us back into the aquatic house too, and then we go into the African area. I think this is what we do. So I'm gonna guide you over here, and is there anything to see in the? Wait, hold on. Is someone diving right now? It's very hard to tell with the snow, but I think there's no one diving right now. Okay, let's move up here because there's one more thing to look, and then I need to do a little bit of a break for you guys. There's no break. It's gonna be a cut. But I need to make a little break here in order to go on. Because again, I want to enjoy that. And if you do this in one go, you tend to rush at some point. And I just think this project doesn't deserve that. So what I'm doing is I'm going to show you one of the coolest things I did that never worked out exactly how I envisioned it to. But I remember testing these things were a pure joy, okay? So this is the caiman habitat. And back in the day, I wanted to make like a separate area left and right, and just wanted to have a tunnel go through, which works. And well, the clearance area is way too big. This is again built before they were able to use 2 meters of depth. And yeah, apparently now this is all easy and they can swim over. Maybe this fellow over here does show it to us right now, just for the sake of showcasing. But at the time, I needed to make this 4 by 4 by 4 meters for these tiny animals. Now you can see they're easily pathing through, and it looks hilarious because it's way too big. Nowadays, I could make this a lot smaller because they only require 2 by 2 by 2 meters. But back in the day, again, they needed 4 by 4 by 4 meters, and that was frustrating. So what I did is I used this little optical trick over here by using these rocks in front of it to make it appear smaller than it really is. Like, again, I could completely change it today, but just seeing that is so cool because I remember the struggle. I remember the ingenuity went into it to make it happen. Yeah. Specifically, these areas over here, my friends. This is where Planet Coaster 2's graphics would be absurdly crushing it, because this would look so different in here. You could play with lights and stuff. Ah, that would be so good. Anyways, well, let's continue. It's a little bit of a cut for you guys, and it's a bit of a bigger break for me. But while watching, well, let's have this little. This is the education board we are taking off from. So let's do that. Alright, short break for you, a longer break for me. We are going to continue our tour, and back goes into the snow. As promised, we're going to continue our tour to this side of the zoo. We're going to go through a area that I added very late. I think we've got some otters here on the side. This is the connection between the wolf area and some of the crocs and so on. I, for the longest part, didn't know what to do with this area, and I just wanted to have an underwater viewing. You know, that was the time when we got the underwater viewing, and I did this habitat we just have seen a couple seconds ago for you, longer ago for me. And I did these two to have some more underwater viewing. Like at the beginning, everything is like we wanted to do a lot of underwater viewing. This is what we do. All the shivers over here. How about just dress accordingly? I will. Also, by the way, let me just pause the game. I want to show this. Look, I love this about Planet Zoo, Planet Coaster, and the games. Like, look at the father, hand in hand with the daughter. I like this touch. Yeah, now they're shivering. Luckily, I did some pausing here. This is such a neat little detail, and yet again, another reason for just being cautious and looking around and just enjoying the landscape. Really am. Look, this is where the bear area is in the back there. Jeez, I just love all about it. I really do love all about it. It is so good. I think the otters are also inside. Yeah, I should have thought about this when doing the tour in the snowy conditions, that we are missing out on some animals. But it is what it is. This is how it would be in a zoo. And I hope my talking, despite being a little bit nosy, and today also like a little bit cracky as well. I'm not sure why, but you know, it is what it is. Don't want to complain too much. I'm just happy I can do this, okay? So, we're here in the wolf habitat. I'm still madly happy with this. Look at the vista yet again. We've got that waterfall coming down here, and then we've got the hut in front of us here with the house, and the house being like a little bit of shelter and for the guests. And the idea was to say that this used to be like a house in here, and then this has been turned into a viewing gallery for the wolves. They potentially could be outside, I guess. Like, they should be, you know, they should be getting along with this weather, but okay. Let's have a little look if they are on their most beloved place. I'm just gonna quickly get this. Also, by the way, I just gonna quickly put WhatsApp on, just to make sure that if my wife has some issues, she can text me. Let's have a look. Sometimes they're on this rock over here, but like they're not. Okay, there you go. Just like a little bit of a side note while I'm doing this. I mean, for those of you who've been here listening to this video till this point in time, you potentially are also interested in my talking, so not sure what's wrong with you, why, but no, just kidding. But like at the moment, obviously, having two kids, one grown-up toddler who's already sleeping and very nicely sleeping, but the other one, baby boy, obviously does not have any regular schedule or anything, so it may occur that he's getting awake and my wife needs my help. So we you know, have the agreement that she's chilling now, having a look at the series or something like that. She's having a good time, but as soon as he's gonna wake up, then I may have to do a little break. You will not notice that much from it, but was there like a wiggle? Maybe we've got a wolf. Oh, look at this! They're there. Saw the wiggle of the tail. There are wolves. Look at them. They have quite a big of an area, so this is why they potentially can roam around quite a bit. Again, as I said, I'm so happy here with the water coming down, and then this is the river area. You know, the only little thing I will say is, and this is something I knew I wanted to do, but I couldn't because the water level was fixed. Like, I couldn't change the water anymore because there was so much build around that I would have needed to get rid of, first of all, and then put the water level back in, that I couldn't do this. But I would have loved to do the riverside a little bit nicer. It's a very sharp edge. This is maybe one of the bigger issues I have with this park. The rest is like almost perfect. I really love that. It's such a beautiful park and so much is going on in here that I'm just 100% happy with. It is just like, you know, this little bit that I'm a little bit annoyed with, but hey, you know, you can't have it all, okay? This is why we started Sicily. This is why I started Realistic Habitats. It's all good. It's all good. But what I wanted to say about the little one is he is pretty chill so far. I did not expect that. It's really, he's eating pretty nicely. He's having good sleeps. He's relatively relaxed for the most part. And we all know that when I said this now, it's all going to be different from this very second. So expect a cut in a couple seconds, and from now on it's going to be awful. No, I'm just kidding. Look at that bridge. I've never done this tour this way around. I've done this tour many times, also on stream and so on. Not on the channel though, but just on stream. Oh, look at that. Look at the vista. Oh my god. I shall say that we are getting into an area now that our wonderful friend Haribo has built for us. Have you seen how the VFX just clipped in? Look, there's also a wolf on the other side. I asked him if he wanted to do a house for me, and instead he built like an entire area and a house. And frankly, the house didn't survive it, but the rest of the zoo did, like that he did. So all these lodges over here were done by Haribo, and all these like little areas for the kids, and also these dining places. Look at the little fireplace over here, and just these houses really nicely fitting into Yosemite. He's done a stellar job in here, also the gazebo, and the idea about the zoo as a whole is it being in Yosemite Valley. It's having a massive impact on the region, obviously. So the zoo is almost like part of the national park, and this is why it will be open for the most part. So some of the houses, some of the exhibits will be closed, but the whole zoo is accessible at any time. And this is why this is also one of these resort areas where you can even get some of the houses and live in here, spend your holidays in here if you want to. I still find this a very, very nice idea. And going around here, I need to take this a little bit quicker because this is actually a bit of a hard area to maneuver because we have not that many areas here. So this is the side entrance on the other hand side. We're just like lurking out for a brief second. Got a parking lot in here. I don't want to go onto the roof. And other kind of things. And then we've got some little market stalls he fit into. Very nicely done, you know, having some grills and so in the back. Just really making sure that this gets a bit of a nice feeling. Look, there's like another grill. Loving this. We also have a general store museum over here. There's no interior done, but just like having the idea that this is here is so nice. On this hand side, this is where the beaver area is. I'm just going to quickly run over here. This is a restroom and leads up to the train station. And on this hand side, we have a wonderful inside look into the dam of our beavers. Let's see if they're inside. No, they are not actually. Or are they? Oh, there's a skunk is in here. I mean, they are still with them, but it's kind of funny that a skunk did swim here. Oh, well, whatever. Let's run real quick around this area. So again, this is where the beavers are. There's also like the beaver enrichment piece. Not sure where they are, because usually this is the only shelter they have. I'm a bit confused that they seem to be outside, maybe? I don't know. Let's just quickly take this little route here. Oops, there's the autosave. So let's go here and see if we can see some of them. Maybe in the water? No. Oh, there's one. Look, there's one coming. We are lucky. We are lucky. Not sure where they come from, but they can withstand this weather easily, so that's fine. So we are making our way not to the left-hand side. This is where we will emerge later on. And we are going to have a look. There's also Half Dome. You can see that on the top. Oh, it's so good looking, isn't it? And we're going to get there, but we gotta take it a bit more quicker now. It's just a humongous zoo. So from this side, we're going to see inside of the reindeer habitat. There you can see the reindeer moving around. You could easily spend 3 to 4 hours in this zoo, easily, and you're not going to see things twice, which is ridiculous, and it's a testament to this zoo. Now, going around this corner, this is basically, we didn't really skip anything. It's just like turn around. This was the other side of the gazebo there. And then if we turn around, you can see already the aquatic house emerging. And this is the koala house. I want to mention that this thing caused some awkward frustration, and it is still broken till this date. In the early stages of the koala, there was a bug that these animals did not climb into trees for whatever reason. It has been resolved, but it has never been resolved for this safe. I really know that this has been something Frontier looked into, but yeah. Note to myself, don't drink your tea too hot. This was a cut because you can hear that. I was just sipping my tea and it was still pretty hot that I needed to hit a break for a quick second. So there we have a koala sitting down here in the midst of a snowstorm. Yeah, this habitat is utterly broken, but it kind of is part of the history, right? Or maybe for some odd reason, are they in the trees right now? No, they're not. So they're not even using the enrichment tree. It is odd. I don't know. I briefly had it working, but then it didn't. I even sent the file to Frontier and they tried, but it, you know, didn't work. In all my other zoos, they do climb by now, but in this one, they don't. It's part of the history, okay? These are non-climbing koalas. Look at the cute boy sitting here. Hello, how you doing? Gosh, they're so cute. They're so cute. Also, no windows. I forgot to put glass in, okay? There's so little things we never fix, but it is what it is. Also, I love this one. This bridge with the implied water going over. Still a big fan of this idea to make the water like go from here, where there is our kangaroo area. Here is our kangaroo area in the back. Can we see them jump around? I guess they're all inside. We may see them inside. And then once we look at the other side, there is like the water feeding into the main river, which looks good. I think it just is very believable. I do like it. I also used some ice pieces to cover up these VFX effects. And this, my friends, is the aquarium. I won't do the full tour of the aquarium because it is relatively big, but there is not really that much in terms of actual stuff to see. So this is a fully implied aquarium, and I did my best to get actual animals into the habitats. So that said, they are not in all of the habitats. So this is an implied one. You can see this from above a lot better. So we're going to take the staircase up here. So you can see there's another habitat in here, which all is fake because I thought at some point we may actually get proper animals. I did fake certain things with the billboards, as I always used to do. That is a cool little effect, you know, to have them in. By now I could use modded animals, but the problem is I basically did this thinking we get some proper stuff. Also, I did some, you know, I did the whole pipe work, okay? I did the whole pipe work in this thing. So we do have some rays over here as like scenery items. I would have loved to do this properly, but it didn't work out the way I wanted to. So there's also proper backstage access. This is actually an access, so it's not even cosmetic. And then I wanted to just show you that one. I built a full skeleton of a whale. That one is custom made, and I'm really proud of it. It looks really, really cool. There's another custom billboard. So what I'm gonna do, because I'm bugging through the ground anyways, we're gonna go all the way down the stairs now here, and I'm gonna show you something real quick. So this is another habitat, and this is an actual functional one. This is where the seals went. The seals, as you remember maybe, they have been in the habitat that was meant for the sea lion before we had sea lions, and now as we have sea lions, they had to move. And I even used the trick to put some billboards in the back so it looks like as if this is more populated. I just figured that in this weather conditions, that looks kind of odd. If you turn it nighttime or if you turn it sunny, this looks a lot better because there's not that much haze. But there's also like a little Easter egg in here. I'm just gonna quickly go in here. Let's have a look. There's somewhere an Easter egg hidden in this one. There you go. Rudi was here. This is the red panda, and it was the 21st September 2020, and he made ladies game crash all the time. So, and that was because she was always in Koala saying red panda, like not in Koala. Anyways, this is a little Easter egg I'm still very happy about. What I wanted to show you is not in these fake habitats. This is behind this door over here. So let's just quickly go in. And then, whoops, where's the actual, wait, hold on. Do I need to go to the, yeah, there you go. Gotta go down here. And yes, I did build a full proper backstage for the Pipeworks and the guests and the staff members. We even do have a proper staff room hidden down here and like a, you know, little note board and also access to some other stuff in here. And the whole piping connected to the actual pipes in the game. As you can see, the whole piping gone into the build and they are all connected with the aquariums. We even have some ladders going up into the implied habitats, which, yeah, it all was 1 or 2 or 8 steps further than I actually needed it to be, but yeah, I'm just very happy that I did. So what we're going to do is we are going to quickly take a little bit of a sneaky route through here. Whoops, there you go. And we're back to the entrance of the other side, and we are emerging into the heart of Africa. Also glad that I announced it, because the little one just got awake And I changed the diaper right when we came out of this wonderful aquarium. It's kind of an odd tour for you. It's all hopefully feeling like one coherent tour, but then again, at the other side, I needed to change diapers twice and yeah, whatever. So we are at the heart of Africa. And I want to go a little bit quicker through Africa because this whole area is a bit of a zigzag one. So I'm just thinking how we do this the best way possible. So the elephant habitat is there. I think we just, okay, we're gonna go for the elephant habitat the first because we need to go back then into this region. Otherwise it doesn't really work the way I want it to. So this is the overall habitat area, I want to say. On the right hand side, we do have an underwater viewing for the seals, also for the outside. And if we keep our way to the left hand side here, this is where we get into the modern elephant habitat. There you can see this. Oh my god, this is perfection for us. Look at that. And then if we go down here, we have a sunken area where you can see the elephant almost up close. Oh my god, this is as if I've staged this one over here. I know there is a mod for Planet Zoo by now that lets you stage the animals where you want to have them. I don't have that mod, you know. I don't even know how it goes. I'm not even sure if it's already released. I know that the modders have been building it. Oh my god, this is just absolute perfection for us. So yeah, you can then actually take this route over here, and there's an overpath for the elephants to get to the other side if they fancy doing so. And then you go all the way around here and you land into an area where they can play also. This is also for the, like a, you know, custom-made enrichment item, which unfortunately doesn't work, but the idea about it is nice. And then you go around and you can see this wonderful house from the outside. They also have some very cool enrichment stuff inside as well. There's also potential to go into the backstage area if you have booked a backstage tour, for example. There is a chance to get in there. You can see there's also an elephant in here, and there's like a huge backstage area in which you can get up close with the elephants. And once we go further over here, you can see that there is a lot of things changed. There's our monkey area, and then if we go all the way around here, we will be getting back to where we were a couple seconds ago. So that was actually a very good idea to take this route. Oh my good lord, people are stuck over here. I've heard that the whole time, but I was like, okay, where is this? So apparently we have some issues over here. Anyways, this is where the African penguins are. Look at how great that looks. Damn, I'm a big fan. I've used free build a lot in this park, so maybe this is because I messed up with the pathing here. I don't care. Look, all the meerkats are... Hold on, now my hard drive was full because that tour is already over 50 gigabytes of the recording. Oh my god. Okay, so we're gonna go through this crowd of people who got stuck. I'm very sure that I messed something up with the pathing over here. But yeah, this is the meerkat habitat, and this is another fun story because this is another one of these implied habitats I did build before we even had meerkats. And apparently, in comparison to the deep diving animals like seals, sea lions and so on, Frontier never said they won't have it. But about meerkats, they actually said once in the first year or so that we potentially will not see any animals like prairie dogs or meerkats in the game. And if so, we're going to see them as exhibit animals. But turned out they found a way to make these tiny animals and even the digging mechanic with a very clever realization. I'm still very happy about the realization they did because, yeah, it's just so good. Also, I'm wondering why no one is in here. This is accessible and I'm still very proud of it. This is one of the other very cool inside views. And then you've got an education board over here about the meerkat with an actual in-game picture and the... I believe that was Wikipedia. Yeah, egal. That was Wikipedia. In here, you even have some webcams to see them. So that is all pretty damn cool. And then if we go further, just as over here is the fennec fox habitat. Let's just quickly see if anyone... There's one. Look. There's a cutie one. Cute one lying down here. Obviously, we have also some heat lamps scattered across all these habitats because, you know, African animals are not really used to snow. At least not all of them, or most of them are not. Sometimes we also have like backstage access like this. I really kind of inspired by theme parks. You know how theme parks do this. Like this is a proper backstage access, but then you just have some scenery around there. It looks good. You know, you don't notice that in the first glance, and this is just how I treat this. Is the other one down here? Yeah, there you go. It's all the way in the back. Oh, love it. And then you go through here, and on the left-hand side, there is the kangaroo habitat. This is the unofficial entrance to the African area. Again, I wanted to have something from the, you know, from theme parks. And then down here, this is the reminiscence of the Africa house, which is not here anymore, but I kept this because this is where the Africa house used to be. I also turned an old abandoned Firewatch tower, and you can see there is a gorilla sitting on top there. Oh my god, what a timing again. Is sitting down here, the silverback actually it is, sitting on top there, so they can go all the way down up here with the staircase. That looks really fantastic, and he's overlooking the scene. This is the gorilla habitat. You can see there are the gorillas. We even have some backstage access into the garage over here, and then they can enjoy their time. Oh gosh, this is one of my best habitats, in all honesty, because it, like, this whole area has been built, and I needed to squeeze that somewhere in here. And for the sake of squeezing something in, it looks absolutely mad. Speaking of mad, I also at some point enlarged the penguin habitat to this side and made it work with this wonderful area with a tiny bit of a, you know, lower area where you can have a bit of a look inside of the diving area. This is, again, you can clearly see the difference now as they only use 2 meters of depth. This looks totally different from their habitat that we've seen at the beginning of the tour. Yet again, a bit of a backstage access here to the left, making sure everything is hidden away properly. We've got a little storefront where you can grab some goods. There is the Firewatch tower, and we could take this route over here, but we actually, hold on, we are gonna take this route because we can do this a bit differently. So this goes all the way around up here, and this is another monkey habitat, ape habitat. I think this is the bonobos. They can actually climb inside of the middle here if they want to, and so this roundabout over here is basically circling around the habitat, which I still think is a fun idea to do. It's not 100% realistic. This is Rudi-listic stuff, because they could technically escape over these trees, but hey, you know. Oh, there's one, look, perfection. It's gonna show how it works. Oh god, that is so good. And that was the gorilla. Look at that. The gorilla up there is now going down the stairs. We are really, this is a perfect tour. I hope that a lot of people have actually sticked with me till this point in time. Okay, just see me stuck over here. Just gonna take this railing. The explore mode is still broken. You can't go over here, but it's, yeah, it's whatever. It is what it is. And then going up here, we've got the backstage access to this wonderful building. You can see it is a bit older, you know, a bit run down, has been turned into something else. And what I wanted to say is we can use this way down, not the right-hand side, because, well, actually we could also take the right-hand side right away, because this is the look inside of the giraffe habitat. You can even see the giraffe all the way there. There is another way that leads all the way up the hill, and then you can go onto this viewing area that is inside of this huge gazebo, where there's even a feeding station, to actually get very up close with the heads of the giraffes. Still a big fan of this idea. Obviously, this is stolen from many zoos that do this properly this way, and then we also have some other animals roaming around in here on the other side. I think, is that for rhinos? I forgot. I think they are sharing it with someone else. Maybe rhinos, maybe not. I don't know. Let's see if we can spot someone. No, this is like the African area where you can have a little look, and you can see really still going through with that whole Yosemite style, with the kind of lodge style, I want to call it. Yosemite Lodge style. A bit of a more modern influence here and there to make it a bit more African, but overall this is the lodge style. And now this is something I've been looking forward to, because I've never been able to do this with a proper computer, and now we can witness the beauty of my basically water area. This is a Wetlands inspired build over here. Hold on, where's the entrance? Is it over here? Yeah, it's over here. This is a Wetlands-inspired build. This is one of the very last things I've done. This is the bonobo area. There's also like a little bit of a mandrill area, but I'm going to skip this one because I want to focus on this Wetlands area. I am absolutely in love with it. Hopefully, the Explore mode will let us do it. This is right across at the bottom part of the half dome and the other mountain face to the side. Gotta say, in snow it looks even better. And once you go through here, you've got quite a lot of animals roaming around in the wetlands, and we've got some cranes and some other animals. That was from the Wetlands pack, and it looks beautiful, and I absolutely adore how that turned out. Now finally be able to witness that and see if everything works is just so good. Also use some mist effects here and there. That was also a huge pain to build this whole thing. There you can see Look at that. We've got some red-crowned cranes moving around. There is the... Is that the addax? I guess it is. Ah, look at that. Yeah, it's absolutely stunning. Look, with a half dome here. This is pure nature vibes. Pure nature vibes. I'm absolutely in awe with this park. Have I said that already? It's my own one, okay? But I think it's fine. It's fine to like your own stuff, okay? If you have built something you're proud of, be proud of it. Like it. I mean, I gotta say, it's not like I've built this all on my own. We've had countless live streams, countless hours of live streams where people have given me ideas and we've been redoing things. This zoo has changed so many times, you know. We are now standing in the midst of the old Africa habitat. This has been a Africa area with a whole bunch of safari animals, which, to be fair, wasn't my best work ever. So I'm very happy that this is now the replacement. Look at that. I think my nature work in here is pretty damn good. Just really good. Anyways, I'm going to sip a little bit of my tea. Now it's a lot colder, gotta say. Now it's a lot colder. Gosh, I love it. Right, tea wasn't enough. I needed a cup for a second. Damn it. Oh yeah, we have different routes to go. I'm gonna use the left-hand side because I think this is gonna bring us to the end of this region. I'm gonna go through these various gazebos. There you can also see some water buffaloes. Obviously, they need to be in here too. There you go. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. There are some more cranes. All roaming around, and you gotta say, despite the fact the performance overall is pretty decent in this region over here, even this system is struggling. That is a testament to how many pieces and how many things are used in here. And as it is a pretty big habitat, I figure the game needs a lot of calculations to calculate the traversable areas and so on. Yeah, but I'm still madly impressed how this still runs. It's a massive zoo. I mean, you've seen that in the intro. It is a massive, massive, massive zoo. At the end of the video, I'm also going to quickly fly up, and so you have a full overview of the zoo again. And I'm gonna turn it into like overcast or so that you can see it's getting a bit more clear and see the whole size of the zoo that we've just toured. Because I feel like the snow also has the very nice effect, and this is why I chose to go. Look, there's also a bit of a backstage appeal here. The reason why I chose to do this is because it fully immerses you in and you can't see too much and you kind of get lost in the zoo. And this is what I wanted to achieve. I wanted you and me to get lost. There's also one of the latest things I built, like a little bit of a restaurant building over here, just with the terrace and having the overlook of this wonderful area on the other side, just tying this all together, and also having this at the bottom of Half Dome. It's looking massive. I think the scale is good enough, even though it's not like realistic, but it's good enough. Okay, hold on. We are progressing nicely, and I'm not going to take the route up here because there's a whole route that brings us all up the way, up the mountain. There's like a nature trail that goes all the way to an overlook, and then you can go back down into the zoo. Not going to do this because that's just too much, but just going to quickly show you that on the left-hand side here, this should be... It should still be the cheetah habitat, I guess. Yeah, with our custom... Hold on, I'm going to show you this real quick because I'm proud of that. There is a custom enrichment piece, and this is the prey running station. So this is something that exists in real life for the cheetahs. That you put like a prey sack on here, and this just kind of shoots the whole thing all the way here, and then the cheetah is going to run after it and just kind of showcases how quick those animals can be. So that's a pretty cool thing. And then going around here, this is going to showcase one of the other builds. This is a lynx habitat. There is the lynx. Very cool that they're outside because these animals obviously would be outside. They are used to this weather, European animals, and for my taste, the best big cat in the game. Or actually, is it a big cat per definition? But it's definitely the best cat in the game, in my opinion. Let's call it cat. This is definitely a cat, so that's fine. However, as you can see over here, this is autumn, autumn what's that, like themed. And again, this is another of the fun things. I built some pumpkins myself, and then we got a lot of pumpkins as pieces. So again, one of these things I did early on. Look, I even used these Skittle enrichment to make some little pumpkins here. I always feel like Aston, by the way. Aston's go-to intro is like, "Hey, my little pumpkins," and yo, this is the Aston corner. Okay, if you're watching this video, mate, this is your corner. Okay, so turning around, this little pathway leads us to the indoor view of the lynx. Is someone inside? Not really though. Okay, well, not needed. And then this is gonna go all the way around. Oh, look, there's the other one. Ooh, we are very lucky today. Look, we get at eye level with the lynx. You go inside or go outside? Oh, you go outside with your mate. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fair. That's fair. Look at the, oh my god, the wall looks really cool with the snow effect. As if you've kind of improved the bump map. And the right hand side over here, this is our West African lion habitat. Not sure if we see them. There's one inside. Look at this. There's the lion. I do have the mod installed, I believe. This is the only animal in game, by the way, that I absolutely can't have the original animal in. Like the other animals are all fine, I can deal with most of them. There are some remasters I like, but it's not like deal breaking or anything. But the West African lion, I always said that as being one of the very first animals, I guess they did, and they've improved over time so much at Frontier. This surely is a testament to how good they became, but the lion is just, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Let's have a look. Oh, there's a lioness sleeping in here. So yeah, there's a huge inside view of these animals. If you go around here, there you can see them. Oh, I don't have the mod installed. That's a shame. That is a shame. So yeah, that is the in-game lion. Oh, you know. You do some cute stuff, you are fine then. It's not bad, it's not bad by any means, but it's so comic-y in comparison to all the other animals. Specifically when we've seen the lynx just a couple seconds ago. It is so odd. Okay, before we go out, I just need to just go around here again, because this is where the snow leopard should be. Snow leopard is in here. Let's see if it's inside. Are you inside, Aliyah? Because it's one of them is called useless Aliyah. There you go. I feel like this is Aliyah. And again, I need to show you something else, because this is why I went here. There's a tiger trail, and we're going to take the tiger trail over here. Because before we go the tiger trail, I want to show you my bathroom. It's like, I'm just proud of it, because there's like a proper bathroom area. I don't know why, but it's just like proud of it, okay? And there's like a whole terrace up here. I'm just going to quickly show you. Like a sun terrace, where you can also enjoy a little bit of a drink if you want to have a bit of a quieter moment. And then you can also take this route. This is going to guide you to the trail, as I said. And this then is the cougar sanctuary over here. So if you want to spot some cougars, as they are local to this region, this is one of the habitats where it is an implied wildlife reserve, where there is actually just a chance to see them if they want to actually get to you. This is the idea, you know. Okay, anyways, what I want to show you is the tiger trail. As you can see, this zoo is above and beyond. It's so crazy. Over here, there's a little bit of an education of the pattern of the snow leopard, because there is a viewing into the snow leopard area, as you can see here. Oh gosh, love it. There's like a little swing for them to play with. And then on the left hand side, apparently no one is in here, but this is the Siberian tiger. They do like to swim, which is crazy. We've got some diving big cats. This is just like education that big cats indeed do dive. And if we go around here, you can see there's the trail going up. There's a huge staircase. You can't make everything accessible for like wheelchairs and strollers, because we are in a mountain area, okay? At some point, you need to go in for the trade and just have it as an extra bit. It is what it is, I guess. It's not nice, but to be fair, like, the budget would be insane to do that, so maybe in the future the zoo would do it, but for the moment, they don't. Okay, so this is also, this build over here, the Siberian tiger habitat, is still one of the first things I've ever done in the game. This was a one-off build, and then I put it into this zoo because it fitted just right in here. I know it's still very often downloaded. I don't know how many thousands times, but it's been broken for the most part because it's built out of wood, and wood obviously is climbable, and that was a mess at some point, until Frontier obviously gave us the chance to decide which pieces are climbable or which are not. So what you can see is I needed to do a lot of trickery in here. So this inside area is just Arctic wood because it's non-climbable, and actual fences and concrete pieces in order to not make them climb. It never really worked out, to be fair, but at least I tried, okay? So this is that, but you also have this wonderful bridge crossing over. There's like a waterfall feeding the water in, and then down here, this is where the Siberian tigers mostly roam around. There you go, look at that. There's a little one. Ooh, they got babies. That's interesting, because for the tour, what I did for the tour is I enabled pregnancy and birth, which should have led to some babies at the end of the tour. And potentially these, I remember I had cubs for them, so maybe this is not why. But yeah, so this is here. Really big fan of it, and you've got a very nice look towards the night house, which is one of the last things we're doing on our tour, because now we are going to get past another building. This used to be the chimpanzee house, but the chimpanzees at some point needed to move, because that now is, I actually forgot, is that the panther? I'm not sure who's living in here anymore, or is this the Amur leopard? This could also be the Amur leopard, but it used to be the chimpanzee habitat, and then I made this very modern habitat out of it. This is one of the newest additions to the park, you know. Oh, some of the billboards don't function, but this should be the Amur leopard. Let's have a look inside. Maybe we can catch it. Maybe later, I don't know. Should be it. But yeah, I've got this typical zigzag, again, a bit more wheelchair friendly, everything over here, with some of the new lights and so on. Very, very happy with how it looks and turned out at the end of the day. And this gets a bit more tricky, so I'm going to show you this real quick, because the rest of it is just the connection to the panda habitat, and you've seen that at the beginning, so I'm not going to put too much effort into going here. But one thing I want to show you, maybe I'm able to if I go closer. So this is where the chimpanzee habitat used to be. Let's see if we can see. Oh yeah, this is the Amur leopard. In fact, it is. There you go. Amur leopard for me personally is the second best cat in game, but the best one for its chill pose when they do this. Really love it. Really love when they're having this typical cat hanging thing there. One thing again, this is what I wanted to show you real quick, is there's like the train passing by over here, and this is a, oh my god, was that the goat habitat? I think, or a sheep? I think this is the Dole sheep habitat. There you go. You can see one. Look at that. They're just enjoying the time over there. Yeah, and then looking at the sign there, you can see, by the way, Dole sheep. But then also on the right-hand side, this is where the panda habitat is. Again, because it is a bit complicated to go there, I'm just going to go all the way back and move my way into, as I said, the last thing, the night house. I'm not going to turn at night. I'm just going to say this would be perfection if we are in Planko 2. Just to also praise Planko 2 for a bit here, because the lighting of Planko 2 would make this absolutely bonkers now. But maybe if we will ever get a Planet Zoo 2, this is potentially exactly what to expect. Proper night houses, that would be so cool. Look, this is the night house. You can see which kind of animals we are going to expect in here. Let's go quickly in. Boom, there you go. Right hand side, Chinese pangolin. There you go, there is it. Left hand side is some very trickery implied desert habitats. You know, there's the Gila monster. Look at that one. There's a snake. Yeah, it all looks loads better, obviously, if you're at nighttime. But even in this game, nighttime is... You know what? I've said that, but I'm going to turn this nighttime now. 12, okay, whatever. There you go. Let's wait for a second until the light is adjusting. Is it? Is it adjusting for us, please? Hello? Can you just do this? It's still not pitch black, obviously. You can see it. Actually, I didn't remember it taking that much time. It almost is like S in Planko 2, is it? But it's turning dark now, as you can see. Waiting for it. So that looks a lot better. That looks a lot better. So we've got the artwork in here. There you see. There you see it. Yeah, okay, well, to be fair, it's better that I turn it nighttime now. It's so much more nice to see. And this is another part of it. I added this later on with the South American update, I guess. There were some anteaters in here and tapirs, and there's like the froggy in here. Let's see if we can see the frog. Oh yeah, it's on the window screen right away for us. There's one, and on the other one is another one. Look there in the back. Can I zoom in a bit more? There you can see it. Ha! Awesome! Really nice. That's a very nice tour. Very nice. So yeah, I played a lot here with the lights and so on, and then we also have the chance to see the tapirs. There you have them. And then if you look up, I made like a fake sky with like mist effect and so on. I think depending on where you look, it's super believable. Ah, yeah, it's really good. It's really good. Okay, let's turn it already daytime again. So once we get outside, it's... look, this is the time we had. It's turning -5 then, from -7 to -5. It's interesting that it's getting even colder at night. I like this little detail. Alright, let's skip through here. And take the other exit. There's not really that much more to see. Also, I'm sorry, my voice is now really having a hard time after all these minutes of recording. Oh yeah, I love this little. This is a little art piece I put in here. Once you come out, you have this. Witness this with like a moon. How's it called? Oh gosh. Like the moon phases. This is what I wanted to achieve with this one, depending on where you are standing. It doesn't work perfectly fine, but I think the idea is obvious, depending on how you rotate. Okay, never mind. In order to get back to the entrance, there's really not that much more to see. This is just a sequoia area, and as this is a sequoia area, this is just a natural reserve. And what we are going to do right now is we are going to take this route. I'm going to take this route. Just to show you, because I also made like these little areas where you can go through the trees. Just big fan of it, and then you can run through this area and just enjoy the vista. This is what I meant by saying. And then actually where we get out is where the panda habitat is. That was very coincidental. I didn't know that we end up here, but it's okay. Now we have a better view of the panda habitat. Not sure that we see them. Potentially they're up there in the habitats, which we are going to have a look at once we fly over real quick. But there's yet again another viewing area down here, just to get yourself a bit cozy and then have a look if you can spot them. This habitat is also a special one because you can separate the two pandas from each other because they can become very aggressive, specifically in mating time. There is a chance to separate the whole habitat into two, so they are living on both sides of the habitat if needed. Another one of these restrictions or requirements that I don't know if it has to be fulfilled, but it definitely is better if you can do this. So yeah, we are now where we once started. Let's actually take this route up here, and I'm gonna just sip a little bit of tea again, hoping that my voice is gonna last at least for the last couple minutes. Oh boy, it's kind of crazy thinking of it. Like it's 6 weeks or so that I'm really having trouble with the voiceovers because of my voice and being having a bit of a cold. It's crazy. It's crazy. Anyways, let's jump up here. Also, while we're doing so, I can just quickly change the weather already. Let's go for clear. So it should stop snowing in a bit, and then we see this wonderful park in its glory in a bit. I would love to be able also to keep the snow on ground while having it clear. This is the only little thing I would love to have from the game. For my taste, the snow clears a little bit too quick, so as you can see, it's now gone. I would have loved just to have snow and then be able to keep the snow by just keeping it, you know. I mean, obviously in the taiga biome that works, but also would have loved to have it in here, to have the option to make it winter properly. But yeah, as you can see, we are now here. Now you can see a lot more of this park, and this is where we, as promised, change the camera into the free look and fly up high above our zoo that we've just toured. There you have it. By the way, just for the showcase, this is the panda habitat from above. As I said, because of its being special, there is a special entrance to it for like backstage tours and so on. And then there is the inside of the habitat. And even this upper area is optional to separate, as you can see, both sides. So there's both animals having an inside. So woo, just fly out here again. Woo! There you have it. There you have it. Just gonna go and have a little nice look here. This is where I'm gonna end this. As you can see, this is absolutely This is absolutely stunning. I enjoyed this tour to the fullest, my friends. It's been a blast doing this. I absolutely love this zoo. It's been a project absolutely from my heart, and I don't know if I will ever do something of this scale again. Let's just go up again a bit more. Look, I mean, just embrace it, okay? Embrace the size of this zoo. It is ridiculous. Thank you, really, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for getting through this with me. If you have watched to the end of this video, mega. Drop me a comment if you watched the entire video, please. And we need a word for that. Remember with the tutorial we had the golden llama camel. I want to call this the winter glove camel. It doesn't make any sense, but it doesn't matter. Winter glove camel. If you have watched the full video, okay, if you've watched the full tour of winter glove camel, just drop it somewhere in the comments. Either just use that or put it in a longer comment. It doesn't matter. I am super happy that I was able to tour it finally. And yeah, thank you so much for the ongoing support on the channel, but also in this project for countless years, countless hours of streams, and just go with me through the absurd project, the absurd size of the project. Thank you so much, and yeah, I wish you wonderful Christmas time, holiday time, and I talk to you in the next one.